Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to our Friday night community race featuring the Spring Slapdash. We have four great runners on stream tonight: Pos Morpheus, eNinja81, Judge Joe, and Hush Pyramid. My name is Dave, and joining me in the booth is our restreamer Xenocat, our tracker Beauty and Discovery, and my co-commentator Deathlike. How are you doing, Deathlike?
Uh, Pretty good actually. I mean, it's a. I'm here for a slapdash. That's all, and I don't even know what a slapdash is by default. But all I know is it's like mystery, except no mystery. You still get a jumbo mix of flags because, hey, you should be able to do anything, right? And
Sure.
that's all that really matters. I think the combo that I think everyone is expecting to see to be interesting is a supermarket suite where you have S Wild and everything in the shops are free. So, yeah, you know what that means.
Yep. We're opening at most one chest tonight.
One. What do you mean one? It can't be one. What do you mean one?
Well, we got T-Pro Farce and everything could be in shops. I don't think we're doing much in the way of looting.
Rats.
But there is the famous freebie out there.
Yeah, there is. I think we have what K. We have K main, K summon, but no K moon. So yeah, so that dual that ribbon chest with the D lunars lie. That has nothing of real true key item value anyways. So we've got there. But it doesn't even matter because we're just shopping for everything, and everything is free. So hey, just pick them and choose them. And with Iridia start, all we're looking for is one summon and one summon only. Well, maybe a few others.
It's Odin, right?
Sure, I like 50% chance that it just doesn't happen. You know, that's the summon I want. Yes, better than 2/3 healing that you could have instead.
Or of course the big guns, Ridia's Car Wash or Blarg.
Car Wash and Blarg. I still have some. I have a space in my heart for herself, just for CPU because they know it's not in the boss list that has been generated today, but I don't like CPU. It's just self fixes a lot of things. It's just slow, but at least you get
Agreed.
You get the healing and you can do the damage. It's all that matters.
And it hits through the walls, which is very, very nice. Also, we do have distinct 5 maybe, so who knows who we're going to see with our other 4, if there even are 4 others.
Well, the twin and he's the boss here.
Unfortunately, we have the starting Bahamut orb, so you just gotta get some levels on these kids, and everything explodes.
Yeah, but the trick is really, I think we probably have a decent item starting kit to at least deal some damage. As Rydia does not have enough MP at the start to go Blarg, so it will take a while, and Soma drops suddenly become a lot more valuable. Suddenly.
Ordinarily, yes, but we have Snow Apples on, which prevents both apples and drops from showing up.
Well, that's unfortunate. So we'll we just need one good fight. Get Rydia to like level 11 to be Blarg online. I know this because level 10 gets her to like 50 something. It's not 60.
And we just see Grimoires available immediately in Baron Item Shop. That can get you through a fight.
Yeah, I still those are recommended against bosses without the boss bit. The moment you summon an Odin or sometimes a Chocobo shows up, it's kind of feel sad about it for a moment.
I did see the Pyramid showed us moon veils sitting in Agart.
Well, that was full Blarg. At least we know where that is, and prepare to ignore it for the rest of the seed.
Yeah, that cave, that could just stay there. Hi, would you like the Rydia kit just sitting in her hometown?
I mean, who could ask for such such a wonderful tools. I mean, it's there.
Tiara and Sork Rope there, and we start with Rune Rings, so we're basically a Stardust Rod away from a fully kitted small child.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a chance with as well that you will not get the item you want. You'll get all the good stuff. Items are likely to all the items are likely to show up, but the kind of weapons and armor you might not, get an adamant armor. You might not get a crystal sword. Even though we've seen crystal sword show up, that's fine, but it's more of a, you might not get all the really best stuff. So if you get like the next best, it's not a bad thing, and you can just dump it because it's all free anyways.
So it looks like Joe's gonna check out what's on Hobbs. We have a Palom there guarded by a blue robe.
I mean, there is a chance for Alt Gauntlet. It's Alt Gauntlet. Well, it's fine.
Decided not worth it.
I mean, you have the Blarg Queen. I mean, Quake Kid is just it becomes superfluous in most times. I mean, there are only a few bosses that counter summons, and those are just all the the LST bosses. So why bother?
And instead of Blarg, would you care to let Rydia hit things? Because we got the kit for that just sitting in Toroya. Artivo, Dragon Whip, Heroine Robe.
It's a good. You probably do need something at least early on to do some work with, and with the D-Mist, yeah, the shakes off a hit, one damage. That's not gonna be long, and it's already summoned Blarg. It's just the seed. It's just what the seed needs.
Yeah, that Grimoire giving us the idea of what we're going to see a lot of in our future.
I mean, it does. I mean, the cool thing, the thing about the Grimoire is it doesn't summon any of these specific monster bosses. So I'm talking about like Imp, Mage, the Cockatrice, and the Bomb. But it's basically every other summon. Every other summon that you could possibly summon normally. I think I'm pretty sure of that.
I think it's the elemental summons and the big summons.
I mean, you can still get a Chocobo. That's how much. I mean, if you really like it, it's. I mean, it's the biggest kind of wild card of a J item in Free Enterprise. Looks like E-Ninja's decided, hey, I want Quake Kid anyways. I mean, why not more black magic?
This should also get the Rydia's enough levels to cast Bahamut.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable fading it. There's no reason to pick up Palom, but just the experience, just to get Rydia closer to being online is kind of is probably what E-Ninja's thinking. Compared to what Judge Joe did. It'd be interesting. I mean, we need 4 bosses to win, so we can skip one, which means, but we still have. But this is also a boss hunt. We're not necessarily looking for D-Mist. D-Mist, it's not getting a key item this seed. So free key item should be actually at Bedward today. Actually, I assume everyone has picked up Bedward stuff at this point.
Look, no, at least no one's gone there.
No, at least Judge Joe is deciding. Hey, let's see what that is. E-Ninja rolled a Titan.
On the flyers.
Yeah, that's the fun. That's the funny thing about the Grimoires, and that's not going to be a lot of damage because this depends on Rydia's HP, which at this point is still very low.
So next Grimoire had to fix that by rolling Sylph.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fun thing about Grimoires. And I think that you can at least get some stability with Palom. Rydia, one of the things in this randomizer is that you got to remember that a lot of some of the spells Rydia kind of you expect to have is gated by the event, have gone through Dwarf Castle, and so having Palom does help a bit. The Grimoire only half works. Oh man, it's just going through all the Grimoire spells. It's just amazing what RNG is doing here. Wish for the Rama right here, or much earlier.
This is why you should never trust RNG.
I mean, I like the RNG, but it's just one of those things. I would just prefer Odin to summon that, and then just disappoint because hey, even with the Grimoire, which has that 100% hit rate, that 50-50 chance still applies to Odin. It's kind of those one of those items where strangely can be unreliable with that. Whatever probable chance, I haven't calculated it, but it's a low chance of, I think it's an equal chance of getting every summon, but that 50-50 shot of after that is it's funny. It's just very fun.
And we did see King Queen Evelyn attacking Fabul today, giving us the hook. That could be our underground access.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think Force Hook is on. So that is. So I think it's actually going to be the intended rendered route here. Also, also worth knowing, vanilla Rydia is on. So and what that is to in the randomizer by default, the summons you get from the dwarf event is randomized, but since it's essentially vanilla Rydia, she gets the default summons that you get, the 5 default summons: Mist, Titan, and the elemental summons. So which is kind of cool, but we don't care. It's Blarg.
We have Bahamut. We don't. Those others are second stringers.
What are the chances at this point that something will be gated behind package, one of the bosses? If I know it's probably going to be ignored, but it's just I just want to know how that probability. It's one of those. It's one of those things. There, I know some runners, like, they want to go out of the way to do the least done things, but I always like that. Can at least because and there's also a character. It's a free character as well. But.
Hey, I'm gonna go with it's about 50-50. Either it is or isn't gated. Let's backpack Vigan. Could be rude, but I think we've got protect rings to help us defensively.
Yeah, you normally have to deal with quite a bit of damage, and see this. So just remember that Grimoires are considered spells. Not even though Grimoire effectively generates a summon, but it's a spell, and a Vigan's base reaction to spells is casting Reflect on himself. So it's a very important distinction when it comes to counters.
Listen, woo, that requires math, and it's Friday night. We're not doing that.
What math? Let me calculate the square root of pi. No, we're not doing that. Do a little.
Wait, you got
just
pi?
not. I wish I had pie. I would offer slices of pie if I had some, but I don't have any pie. I rarely have pie. It's unfortunate. So it looks like a C hero, right? I think it's a solo Rydia. So not a bad thing. But don't care for the boss.
Yeah, we know that's either elements or Rubicon, neither of which are objectives.
And I don't think the key item was worth picking up anyways. So.
Yeah, Dragoon Shield kind of.
I mean, there are only 5 possible mechs, and but we get, hey, do Palom with, hey, is that vanilla or not? Oh, it's vanilla.
This is vanilla.
I think we've seen the Baron guards. No, not the Kaipo guards. Those are separate.
And a turtle behind it, which not terribly scary here.
I mean, things can happen, but I think with enough, when you throw enough Grimoires at a boss, you eventually get to it. And JoJo has decided violence with them. But I don't know what the arrow is, but an Artemis bow plus whatever.
Yeah, heroin robe, arty bow. That's so much agility. A turtle's never getting a turn.
This is essentially Val protection. You do not want to go into a battle where Val is in a spot with where her spin makes her invincible to any magic. So having that protection, having this essentially the Rydia non-anchor to have all the power is kind of the preferred way of going. Like, you don't want the main hero to have all the speed, which will kind of screw you over later on with faster bosses.
Very true, but on the overworld, perfectly fine. We did see Pyramid did finish out ordeals, which if we trip over a Tella or a Cecil, could be some power if we do know where crystal swords are.
If you see the crystal sword, you just buy it and just kind of keep it around till they show up. The only inventory boss is the one you create at this point, because you're not going to pick up a treasure chest outside of the one key item in Feymarch. The only real inventory boss is you. This seed. I think we're taking advantage of the hook, so we're probably going to see who is at the end of the hook. Normally we would talk about Evelyn Castle for loot, but this is not the Seed Force, since you can buy everything. So and there's no K trap, so they can. Those trap chests can stay there sitting pretty, because we do this. And hey, coffins, and gotta pick up a few kamikazes for that dark elf fight. Mostly when you have the heart, not the actual fight.
Power shirts in case we find an actual melee character, and there's the rest of the Rydia kit.
You got most of it to begin with. You got the Bahamut orb and essentially the Rydia store. You're pretty much kind of done for shopping at this point. At least with your JoJo, you're probably pretty much done.
Now you got 2 blargs. If you found the moon veils, you can pretty much. Looking at required fights, that gets you through the Bahamut. It gets you through Mylon and Friends. Could get you through the Plague.
It depends. You have moon veils that solves pretty much most of your boss problems, especially at punchy spots. Moon veils have the additional property that over a star veil, essentially blink, perma blink, essentially. Hey, maybe.
Think of that, Cecil.
I think he can take a nap. It's fine. This seed will forget him. But I desire some overwhelming blarg on that orb. I don't like that orb. It can go away.
Pyramid saw the Wyvern, chose violence, and then reset.
I don't think Palom's at Quake level. I don't think it will matter. If you can get the kind of the dual blargs off with both Rydias, I think you probably need
You're gonna need a little more firepower.
A little. Got Quake Kid,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure. but if Quake still has the Quake at least has the reach virus level. Quake is preferable, but it should be okay.
That back orb's gonna have, I believe it's 21,000 at this spot.
It's reasonably beefy for at least the spot. I think the concern might be whatever surprise is before it, but I think we have there isn't really a surprise for runners in terms of like you have all that power. It's hard. There are very few spots that will be gating. And think have we seen DKC yet? I'm trying to remember.
We have not.
Because that would be the only one that might be surprising.
Fortunately for runners, it's just Asura who, Joe, you kind of need to use Bahamut Orb to cast Bahamut.
Yeah.
Very important step.
Step 1, use item. That's it. The good thing about summons is, at least, or summon orbs rather, that just you learn it once you use it. All the Rydias have the spell, so that's the good part. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to worry about it. It's nice. It is also kind of rare when we're watching Judge Joe, like you seeing these essentially really low HP characters at the very moment, and all it needs to reduce Azura to a pulp is a Blarg. That's it. Needs a Blarg though.
Blarg maybe need a little bit more oomph than that.
Yeah, the problem really is usually the combination of having a Heron Robe and the Artemis Bow. That really, I mean, although I think the other Iridium might have a Stardust Rod. Usually, sometimes you can counteract the kind of the nasty effect of a Heron Robe is that that your mages become more utility, and yeah, Blarg does a lot of damage, but that's what you usually. So a Heron Robe is like a negative 15 wisdom and will. So negative 15 really means 4 multipliers, and Blarg is a spell power of 480. So that's about, let's just say it's about 2,000 damage that you're losing just by having Heron Robe.
It's even worse than that, because if you're Heron Robe versus Sorcerer Robe, that's a 20-point swing.
Yeah, and then if you stack the Artemis Bow, so Artemis Bow plus Heron Robe is what? Negative 10 plus adding negative 20, negative 15, so that's negative 25. So 6 over a little bit, at least 6 multipliers.
It's a lot of damage.
Yeah, so you don't want to have lost damage in the form of Heron Robe Artemis Bow. I mean, you can do it for a character, but you don't want to do it for every Rydia that you have available. At least for what this seed calls for.
So on Pyramid side, we see the package play being made.
I mean, you might want to. I mean, it's worth a gamble. I mean, hoping for a character, but it's another Quake Kid. I mean, Quake Kid summons Titan, which casts Quake. I mean, totally makes sense.
Thematic. I like it. And Possum is handling the orbs exactly the way you were describing it. That summon dragons on them.
And the good thing about the orb is that the smaller orbs do absorb some of the HP. So I think this TP has like 80% of the HP. I think
it's
like...
Each orb takes 1/12 of the spot's total HP. So this spot has 25-2 normally, so the orbs get 2,100 apiece here.
Yeah, it's numbers. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine taking the Globe 199s because your Blarg will do all the work anyways. And DKC probably don't really care about reviving the DKC because once it becomes a paladin, all that XP gained it disappears.
And that's a sparkle at the package. Could it be? Oh, it's just Ogo Pogo.
Nope. Nope rope. There's a nope rope. Usually nasty. I mean, it immediately eats 50% of the HP on the initial attack, and will eventually come back to that dual big wave whammy. But yeah, but not the boss any of our runners are looking for.
Possum Morpheus could be our first runner ground, having blarged his way through the orbs.
That's what you have to consider that Blarg is outside of Cecil Paladin Cecil Burr. Blarg is the most efficient early access kind of spells. If you're fortunate to get a early Bahamut orb and Iridia. The seed plays itself. It's all Blarg all the time, and Wyvern doesn't count. Although we'll try to ruin the party as this seed has been promptly ignored at Mizcave.
You know, those dark imps sitting atop the tower, they're looking mighty Blargable.
Power overwhelming. Well, unless it's a water hack, in which case Blarg is too much. You still have to. Blarg is probably. I think water hack at this one we know because we've seen Alt Gauntlet on Mount Hobbs. So if it would be a funny seed surprise if water hack shows up at Super Cannon Room.
That's one of the two worst spots to see water hag.
Second spot being,
for me, Baron in 1.
Yes. It could be worse. There could be like you have an Edward Hero start with a water hag at at the DKC room, that occasionally can be problematic. And I usually don't give water hag much of a shout out, but sometimes the water hag can surprise you at certain spots, even though it's just 3 hits. And can be worse if no free bosses are enabled, and then they just become mean.
Well, that's just a boss that punches you a whole lot. And you're looking at Dwarf Castle. We got some vanilla here. Some delicious vanilla at Dwarf 1.
Is this even? Like all things, blarging Calbrenna is a thing. I think it was interesting discussion of that the HP split on the Calbrenna doll is like a doll grind. I'm like, determined that this is a doll grind is a terrible thing to have. It's hard to trigger because it's the HP on the kind of the trigger on the HP on the big doll is kind of absurdly small, so you're more likely to destroy the big doll. It's kind of interesting how that math works out.
No need to worry about that here. One Dragon God summon deals with all the small dolls in one shot.
I think there's some spots where Quake Kid isn't always going to kill all the dolls, but that's usually at the reserved for the high HP spots, though.
And we see our 4th character, the other twin.
Hey, best girl. At least my best girl.
Oh. Apparently, this seed is Cecil's Adventures in Babysitting.
Well, Iridia grew up, so she can
help keep the columns in line.
Although, Possum did the thing Possum loves most. Prefer that my favorite child takes a nap, takes a deep nap. Don't mage the seed.
One of the things you're doing when you're babysitting small children is you put them to bed.
It's a daycare center. Why poor him? Why can't the Quake Kids take a nap? It's not fair.
You tried putting Talon to bed.
Poor I would think Porum is the noisier one though. She likes bopping things, and that's how I prefer to use Porum for. But she likes to bop things.
She's also really good at making trying to mimic the most annoying sound in the world.
I mean, she wants to cry if she wants to.
Just get a Dragoon Spear from Dwarf. Not much value there.
Well, I guess we'll make a trip to Baron. That's not I mean, right? Probably be an excuse. And hey, I have too much stuff. We don't need all this stuff, and probably a good time to get rid of all of it. At least the stuff that we don't need, like the ninja swords, maybe the excess starter rods. Definitely the change. I mean, at this point, you should be actually clearing out some of the inventory. So, see, self-made inventory boss. It's all your fault. You collected all that junk.
I don't know how interested we are going back to the Baron Comedy Club right away.
I mean, there will be a point. I mean, we don't actually have to fight Z in this flag set. Yes, the seed. We don't have to fight Z because we've already picked up the crystal. And what? But why? It's just how the way the flags roll this seed.
I bring up the Baron Comedy Club because it was Golbez that gave us our starting key item.
Oh yeah, you're not. No one's really excited for that. It'd probably be worth doing when finding a ribbon at the very least. The Heron robes will definitely remove the paralysis. That's not the problem. It's the people. It's the people who will die because the Shadow Dragon is a little hungry.
And it's decided mages are tasty.
Well, but our Shadow Dragon's hangry though. I don't know. I don't think the Shadow Dragon's angry at all though.
Just want some dinner. I can fully sympathize with that.
It's unfortunate that was a pink tail, so nothing for a key item. Are we able to get adamants this seed? I think
Nope.
we are. No, well, that doesn't make a difference.
No adamants flag is on, so we. Hey, Cursed Ring in the Fey March.
So now we could probably dedicate the center Rydia to be the anchor, which is fine. I mean, probably not required, but it's nice to have, especially given there will be times where having all that speed can be detrimental. So probably for the best. We already have a faster Rydia, and you want those Palms to be faster than Rydia as well.
So we're going to get our first look, most likely at the Fey March bosses. Oh, we're cursing DKC. We're just going to let the mages play.
Was that vanilla agility on? It is one curious thing that original DKC can use a cursed ring. It's one of those. It's actually very universal. I missed it. Was it Porum taking a nap?
No, on Joe's side. Grimoire on Rubicon and casually rolled Shiva.
It happens. It is. I mean, that's where the RNG is stuffed into. So we know that those are Baron guards. I mean, the Hypo guards. This is fine. Except not interested.
No, you can't flarg that, which is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, you can flarg it exactly once.
I don't think the damage isn't too bad. The Leviathan spot doesn't have too high a spell multiplier, but they have so little HP to speak of.
Yeah, it's still got 6 or 7 multipliers. Those ice 2s are supposed to hurt. Those lasers aren't supposed to just, tickle you, and you don't need many multipliers for Quake to wipe this party.
Well, I mean, at that point, you'd either get enough real levels to kind of achieve that, or get Porm to like absurd level to get float. And I don't think there's that much interest in getting float, at least this quickly.
Now, hear me out on this.
Okay.
Dragon Whip or Artie Heroin Robe.
I mean, that should be fast, but Pale Dim being on what it is, it will punch. Probably could just hide Rydia in the back. Probably be okay once in a while.
We also have Crystal Ring Tower for sale in the March, so some Dragon Resist to help you out.
That helps. That goes a long way. When you have racial resistances, the attack power of the monster is reduced by half. So, that's pretty significant.
And,
given the base attack power at that spot.
And with Heron Rope, Crystal Ring, and Back Row, I think you can drop that damage all the way to 1.
I mean, the Heron Robe does miracles. I mean, you have not quite adamant level armor, but I would almost say it's pretty much pretty close to that. I mean, for all intents and purposes. So I mean,
did you see that Zeus Gauntlet going on Rydia?
Rydia's going to punch things. I love it. I mean, it's one of the adult Rydia benefits is that she gets access to Strength Ring and Zeus Gauntlet, which I shrug. Just, I mean, this option is there. You usually don't use it, but in Free Enterprise, you can. With Zeus Gauntlets kind of available, I mean, there's just you can do a lot of damage with Rydia, and I think we're kind of hoping for Quad 9 here.
Close. Now, any Rydia fans out there, let Rydia shoot things.
Pew pew. I mean, the Artemis bow arrow combination is pretty strong. I mean, if you're a bow and arrow user, you know how powerful that combination is. It just devastates any boss. It's about the same level as a Dragoon spear. It's probably a little bit better because you have stats that you really want to kind of buff on a character. But I mean, if you raised a mage to the power level of Kain, it's not too shabby damage, and you have a lot of combinations you can do with the arrows. And hey, you could buy those.
Yeah, they're right in the shop over there. Also, didn't need Crystal for Dragon Resist. I forgot about the tiaras, which also have Dragon Resist.
The Zeus is really just for the strength buff. So I mean, we don't really need more agility. But yeah, tiaras are a girl's best friend. Especially, I mean, it's a really strong piece of armor. I mean, lightning resistance, dragon resistance. The tiara is probably really kind of like a cheap end game type of armor, honestly.
We do see while Possum and Judge Joe are playing the Fey March, E-Ninja and Hush Pyramid are dealing with CPU, which is and Pyramid's through it.
I mean, that wasn't too shabby of a base level Cecil carrying a crystal sword. I would still prefer probably some a levels, but it's fine. We're trying to speedrun this, so gotta go fast. Don't care. Don't. Right, Rydia was gonna carry the whole thing anyways.
And so, Xenocat asking, where are our boss hunts? That's a really good question. We haven't seen a single. We're 36 minutes and we've cleared a good chunk of the overworld. We've cleared out a good chunk of the underworld and haven't found a single one.
I mean, the worst place they can be is honestly be the LST. I know we don't have K Moon on, but boss hunts mean they can be anywhere. So it doesn't matter what the location. Could be in the sea. It could be in the Giant. Could be in the LST. I mean, So kind of, with seeds being rolled, you just it's one of those things where boss hunts don't care where your key items are. They can be anywhere and everywhere at the same time. So this seed can go faster if they line up, but it just seems like maybe the moon isn't haunted. Pale dim sound of its people. Toot 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 toot.
That's a pretty good.
I mean, honestly, it's one of the best sound effects in the game. There are plenty of them to choose, but slow is my favorite. Not just for what the spell does, but it tells you exactly what it does. The sound tells the story.
And Sheila had Zromus access and Zromus access to go with that crystal we found.
I mean, that was nice. I do think that, although, yeah, it could be reset out of, but I think at least for Pasta Morpheus, probably wants to try to collect all the 10 key items to get double XP.
Also, you're not resetting the Darkness Crystal on a boss hunt.
That too. So, but yeah, it looks like hey,
Patch was from the Sylphs, but
that's still kind of that is a Z axis thing. So, but the thing we don't need. But if you do have a win game opportunity, check out Z. See, you might find something cool there.
I don't know, the one time I've done that, I interrupted Z when, it was going for a date and it was just awkward.
Did you fall asleep? Was that it? Because Z was probably rambling about evil and all these machinations of stuff.
What? Villains can go on dates too.
I know, but they have, and they have feelings. I know, but sometimes I think Z has kind of sometimes a one-track mind. Unless you like discussing, what the Z sprite is, because Z takes a lot of the feedback. We'll listen.
We do have Joe making the sealed cave check, looking for one of the bosses, and just an Octomam swimming through rocks as octopus are known to do.
Yeah, Octomam likes to kind of get into places where no one else would have thought was possible. I mean, it might as well be. It probably got tips from Mylon Z, honestly.
I don't know how Mylon's gonna throw me in a deep ravine when we're already hundreds of feet underground.
Oh, this is not a hero seed. I thought that was a hero seed, but I one of those things that there is an indication where a seed is hero, where kind of like the hero of the seed kind of spread leaves the party to go in the door. So that's kind of the indicator. I kind of missed that. So, but Possum, we'll find out. Hey, this is elements.
We knew from the word. You knew from the word go it couldn't have been a hero seed because we started with 2 copies of Rydia. Oh right, that is a particular attribute. There are just so many combinations that sometimes there's like a rule or two that you just forget. It's like it's kind of like English. You have all these rules about how words are formed and how the sentences are formed, and then how you can't do or you have to do these things.
Makes no sense sometimes.
English is a finely coded language.
And we're adding new words every so often too. So there's always that. Okay, so I think at this point, I mean, there's not much else about besides. I mean, there's not really much access to go to. I mean, I don't. Possum's probably not going to consider Luca. The place to go is definitely going to be the moon, based on what's left.
Yeah, we got the moon, we got the giant, we got the Baron key. That's pretty much it. Unless you want to do Keyless Tower, looking for the tower key.
I think, given that it was really just a boss hunt, is like unless whatever is kind of gated that's left is just not as interesting. I mean, I don't think anyone has done Baron yet too. So that's there. I mean, there's kind of a number of bosses there that are essentially still on the earth that could still be there, but they're just choosing to ignore it, which is, kind of reasonable. Like you have the first thing you do with Baron is Golbez, and who wants to do that?
It looks like Pyramid's getting ready to do that.
Hey, it's a sneak peek. It's not. I mean, the numbers suggest, hey, they're probably going to be a lot of them on the moon, but having a lot of key items that gate bosses still on the table. Anything that is available can just be a valid option. Looks like we are doing harp.
No, this is the Rex banner.
We're due. Completely forgot. Yes, because we've been on this seed for so long that hey, free key item. You could have done this, but yeah. Then Possum might consider just doing that outright, but we know it's nothing. But hey.
No, the key item itself is something important. That's number 10.
That is, definitely. I guess keeping it. It's still worth it. I'm just saying, completing just checking the key item drop off, like just doing the whole sequence. But yeah, that's, hey, you gotta get the key items wherever you can get them.
And on Hush Pyramid side, we see the Baron Comedy Club is open.
Can we throw a tomato, Golbez? Is that an option? Can that be an option?
Are we renaming Bahamut to Tomato?
I mean, the Blark is red, so tomatoes are red, so we could.
So by these properties, Blark is a tomato?
It is a big tomato. Would you like third Rydia?
Really good anchor. And if you didn't pick up the Curse Ring and the Fame March, makes a really good anchor.
It could be used as an anchor. Like you have 2 palms, you could probably just do it without the second palm. And that's the only. And just make that Rydia the anchor. That's certainly an option on the table, but it's whatever. There's still plenty more to go, and Possum's I think is gonna do bottom up because boss from bottom up being going from the lowest point in LST, so basically we're the 2 rooms next to the save point and the spicy. Hey, we found him. Probably, you know what? He did. Leviathan didn't like what Odin was doing. I know Odin likes haunting the basement, but Leviathan would have none of it. So, got to clean the basement.
We were just giving Baron Castle a good scrub. That's what you're saying?
Certainly. And E-Ninja, hero of the people, has found out Job Dwarf, high school admin, because, yep, someone has to do it.
Judge Joe taking the D Lunars fight on the NK value.
It's interesting.
And we did see taking a swing here to push him in the virus phase, because the virus is here significantly less dangerous than the punches.
Yeah. So D-Lunars, if you see them vanilla, they in their normal habitat do like kind of almost 4-digit damage, which can be devastating. But I mean, at weaker spots, virus isn't the same threat. So sometimes, if you know the spell level of the spot, you can take advantage of strengths and weaknesses. And the Bahamut spot, not that high, but hey, this harp.
Are we getting a music check this seed?
I don't. Probably not immediately. I mean, when you're here, when you're doing K value, you probably just want to do this, get this out of the way first, and then do the LST. I mean, the transition between the Earth and the Moon can be a little bit long. So
and we see another objective sitting in the ribbon room there, starting to come in.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place to be. Dark Elf, not really a strong boss, especially in the initial phase. I don't think I've ever seen the first part of Dark Elf ever be a threat. I don't know. I'm not sure why per se. But split damage doesn't help its cause often. But the second part is at least usually the easier boss to deal with, as you can use like hourglasses on it, as it does not have the boss bit. The dragon form of Dark Elf doesn't care.
So we don't know yet if this Baron Key was hard required. This is DKC chilling in the basement.
Oh, we saw the Leviathan and DKC. Oh, wait, so we're looking for a key item, right?
Correct.
There's still...
It is case 7, so this could be a key item check.
Well, another mystery must be solved. So, probably that just means immediate route to turning it in, hoping for a key item coming from that. Rat Tail is like kind of like key item reroll. Would you like to try again?
Would you like to turn this Rat Tail for a lovely pair of samurai gloves?
I think recently in the community, I think there was a kind of a family feud like poll, a family feud that's going to be like an event. One of our runners is going to be hosting. I don't know when it is. It's probably should visit Discord if you want to find out. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember what the runner's name, but I think you might remember. But there was some funny family feud questions, and it was like, what was the question? What kind of trash would you get from a key item check? And my answer was Assassin Dagger, because I don't need one.
Yeah, Zedek can point out Tower Key is not trash. That is in fact continue chasing. We'll eventually figure out if this Baron was hard required. Maybe. I mean, what was the boss peaked on the other side of the Dr. Luge spot? Because Dark Imps.
So that's not required, at least not immediately. We might gate something, but not immediately a boss that we need.
And we did see its evil wall at the White Spear, so we can fight that never.
Yeah, the thing about boss hunts, at least usually it's you just peek and then run. Especially when K Moon is on. If a K Moon was on, then our runners would just have to fight the boss outright.
That is a little more important.
Yep, gotta be there. Plague is a plague on us all. And Possum Morpheus is looking to do some cheekiness. Try to kill off a character and then revive him to reset the count counter as
I don't think it matters. Cecil's going to tear through this plague before count hits 0.
I think it's just insurance, honestly. So I don't think that's an issue, but it's always insurance just in case something goes horribly wrong. And it usually doesn't, because plague doesn't really damage you. It relies on the count to do the work. The trick of plague is really just to kill a off character and then revive a character, so that one of the checks that the boss has to do is, hey, does everyone have count? If not, please apply count on everyone. So that's the only real the only trick to plague is making sure that your anchor is slow. As if you are fast anchor, that countdown zooms by really quickly.
So we're at 2 bosses on the moon. Do I hear a third one?
I mean, Moon hasn't been haunted so far yet. I mean, not all the spots will have the bosses, but well, I mean, it's getting there. All the bosses left. There really isn't anything that's going to slow down our runners on at this point.
Dr. Luggage, not on the list.
Hey, Dr. Dialogue has things to say. He's trying to do DKC's monologue, but
okay. Deathlike, I applauded your witchcraft from earlier.
I summoned Water Hag into the spot that happened. Commentator's blessing or commentator's curse. I like both. But Water Hag is definitely not needed. But we don't know what key item it holds. Completing Super Cannon will get a key item, but not at the end of this fight. It's on the way out.
Well, we know there's not going to be a relevant key item behind this.
Oh, we found everything. Is that?
We know where Harp is, we know where Earth Crystal is, we know where Baron Key is, and we know where Darkness is.
Okay, so if there's nothing gating, then, well, I mean, it's fine. I mean, Hushed obviously doesn't know. I mean, we're watching 4 different runners, so we can get a bigger picture. But the runner doesn't know. The runner doesn't know. So oftentimes routing, because it's an expedition of its own, because you did this first, and now because of it you'll do something next, because maybe the key item drives you into that direction, and sometimes decisions are made that way, and these decisions are perfectly legitimate.
The thing is that Earth Crystal may push Pyramid away from clearing out the March, which we know is hard required.
Yeah, no. When you look at when you think of Feymarch, oftentimes you want to have enough levels to deal with it up front, outright, first go. But sometimes if you check early, you're probably going to fade. You just want to peek, take a look what they are, and maybe not come and try not to try hoping that you don't have to come back a second time. But not all seasons are like that. But sometimes I can understand Fade March is a thing, but yeah, not this seed, unfortunately. showing the other fun tricks you can do with plague. Having someone with wall up, it will continue to the boss will continue to try to apply count. So what is yeah. So, go ahead.
And here's we've bounced a wall. We bounced count onto plague, so we just end through a silk web. So we just gotta wait for the count to run out on plague.
But you still have to take a turn. So even though plague has the count applied onto it, still have to take a turn. The game will not proceed until you take a turn. So you have to wait a little bit and then attempt to bop or parry or something.
And there you go. Plague counts itself out.
And it's fun to see that palette swap. If you saw like a red death animation, it's kind of a fun thing, kind of fun, quirky things about Final Fantasy IV. That's there's just a lot of features in Final Fantasy IV that you gotta experience for yourself sometimes. Just as a reminder, count does not have the boss bit, so that's why it works on the boss. There are a few other skills that work on bosses that bosses can reflect to themselves, like breath. So like the mobile's breath. So you can occasionally see that happen.
As Joe is cleaning up the moon, we see Pyramid in Zot.
It's an interesting choice. Probably not necessarily looking for another character, but it's a Earth check. There's two bosses, so not a terrible thing. But we have more duped characters. I don't think we found our fifth character, right? We've twins.
Not seen it.
Yeah, twins, Rydia, tons of Rydias, Cecil. So we have not found that last character, and but you didn't want Double Burr? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, what's waiting for us at the element spot?
Yeah, the tankiest spot in the game with Odin. I know Sensuken is a nice spell, has Quake level spell power damage, but weak spot, unfortunately.
More importantly, down on Pyramid's side, there is some value in the Tower of Zot.
What did we find, Zot?
Second boss is Mylon and Friends. That is objective number 5 going to be off the board.
That is a good time. Yeah, we found because Mylon and Mylon Z are different. When he's not in Z form, he has Z friends. That's what it is. Z friends.
Got a little dance party going on. Everyone loves a good dance party.
I mean, if only we had a disco ball. At the time, Odin is still pretty fast, so although I don't think it will kill our characters, but I think it probably still be enough damage. I mean, Odin is extra weak to lightning, so not wondering what the Palom coffining is for, though. I mean, still.
We're keeping an anchor at low agility.
That is a thing. I mean, definitely found some cursed rings somewhere. I think it was Feymarch for the cursed rings.
Feymarch had all your agility rings.
And when I first saw cursed rings, like, what is this for? And then I encounter Free Enterprise, and it's like, hey, cursed rings, they're cool. They're the best things ever. So like, it's hard to see the value in a cursed ring when you play vanilla. There's a lot more to it in Free Enterprise, especially given how agility works.
And there's our fifth boss, just waiting for us at the back of the giant, of course.
Yeah, it's a nice place to park Bahamut. The problem with this Bahamut is this. Well, this is not a lot of HP at this spot, but well, relative to other bosses, if you let Blarg do its thing, it'll murder you.
You're dead. You're not walking that Blarg off.
There are spots where the spell stat for the boss is off the charts. This is one of them. Ogo is there.
Yeah.
Evil wall spot. I mean,
that Blarg is doing what, about 30,000 damage?
Yeah, if we could actually count to 30,000, we can only do quad 9s because gives we want to prevent overflow, but that quad 9 cap is there for a reason. But if that quad 9 cap was off, it's definite power overwhelming damage for sure.
So we know Morpheus just needs to chase the Baron Key or do Keyless Tower.
Baron probably would be the next thing to do, given the number of bosses on that route. So, and Possum loves to play the numbers on that. So I expect a Baron run, just because 3 bosses, even though we know Golbez is one of them, but this kind of the boss,
and is making the play. Ninja through Baron. Hush Pyramid clearing out the Flame Arch, going to find the Darkness Crystal soon. Due to simply running out of checks.
I think we're trying to create a new anchor. I think that's what Possum is doing. Oh no. Preparing for Golbez.
Yep, setting for Golbez.
So yeah, one of the things one of the things that veteran runners do, especially when you know where Golbez is because of the battle script for Golbez is to eliminate all characters but 2. So there's always going to be 2 left. Jumping, Kane in the air or Edward hiding does not count in that number. You kind of want to kill him off for a little bit. It's fine. The XP, at the buy-in spot is nothing, but it's really just trying to avoid all the fuss of waiting for the dragon to do its thing, but also you can control who needs to die, and who needs to stick around to dispatch Golbez.
Right, in this case, you just leave your 2 strongest party members up. You basically just let Cecil bop Golbez once here and he goes away.
Yep. Oh, just the only caveat is make sure you don't have the Avenger equipped when you fight Golbez. Things happen.
What you're talking about.
Mistakes have been made before. I know I have. It's an experience where you swing and miss, and I'm Golbez there. Why can't I hit him? He has that invincible phase, which is the part of the vanilla script. Also, I'm kind of honored here as well. Obviously, the back part where Rydia does the saving doesn't happen, but it's close enough. But you can get a few shots in once the Shadow Dragon disappears. And there can be some I'm hoping some of our runners maybe doing some of the alternative shots. And oh no, Judge Joe perking here. Well, it doesn't have the Earth Crystal, so at least that's the thing. But that means Harp is gonna happen.
Oh, and well, bad news for Joe, great news for us.
Yeah, gotta have a seed where take a little break, because I think we've spoken too much. Maybe I have spoken too much. I do need a rest too. I need because even in broadcasting, breaks actually happen in broadcasting too.
Yeah,
How short they may be.
We don't go to commercial here. We just keep going the entire time.
What's ad free? What is this? What is this? Twitch? No, it's yeah, that's a. But there's a lot of art music to go around. I think it was like what? I think we've reached like 500 or so. Xenocat.
Many.
Xenocat has been adding quite a bit. There's just a ton of tunes from various different games. So I mean, and they're all played in harp because that's what Eddie knows how to play. So we'll let DJ Spoonie B do his thing after Radia use a kamikaze because that's how we speed up this fight.
Yep, and we will see right as Harp is finishing, Pos Morpheus does finish the seed, 4 objectives completed.
Yes, congrats to Pos Morpheus.
And Pos Morpheus finishing first place overall with a time of 1 hour, 7 minutes, 36 seconds.
GG's, and we will leave it to Harp before the interview.
And with that fantastic rendition of Otherworld finished, we are joined by Pos Morpheus. GG's, Possum.
Hello, friends. GG's.
Sorry about that. You walked in exactly as we were getting Harp.
I was aware, that's why I stayed muted. Xenocat was kind enough to let me know. To let me know ahead of time.
So, how did it feel getting to play SMS again?
It's nice. The wheels don't fall off, or you remember how to ride that bike, whatever those phrases are. I just wish my buddy Potato were still playing for Enterprise and could have joined tonight to race with us.
I mean, this seed was a pretty generous. He started off with a Radio Hero. Well, at least Radio start with the summon orbs. I mean, summon kit. I mean, that's a seed starter for you.
Kind of. Mages stink on SMS, so like, it's a start that exists, and I guess if you're gonna have to have a mage, you might as well have Bahamut out the gate. But I mean, they were for sale anyway, so the summon orb itself didn't really do much. It was interesting. was very unhappy with my decision early to go ahead and fade ordeals. Once I saw Cecil on the hook rat, I was like, man, dang it. Like, now I have to go back. Should have just done this anyway, but alas.
I mean, this is a boss hunt seed, so feeding ordeals. It's like, can you get away with feeding ordeals? That's, I mean, you had 3 bosses on Mount Ordeals. Just no, just you just wanted to fade it.
I mean, I figured I'd probably end up back there at some point, but I wanted to guarantee that everything would be completely one-shottable, including if, let's say, like a back attack Val showed up. I didn't want to be completely boxed in, and was kind of playing around the what if situation of let me make sure I have a guaranteed way through ordeals before taking it on. So that was kind of my reason for the early fade, was the what ifs, and also just not having a Cecil handy. Tella wouldn't really have mattered. That wouldn't have driven me there. Food would have driven me there. Cecil would have driven me there, but I just didn't want to get walled and have to turn around with no value.
And that's very fair.
I suppose I could have gotten through it with like Artemis Bow, Artemis Arrow, but it would have been super slow.
I mean, we did see that Val at Harp, so that was fortunate, but kind of ironic at the same time.
Fade Harp. I did think about doing Twin Harp on the way back from the moon, just because of where I got it, where it came from, the Summon Cave, the Bahamut Cave. Part of my thought process is, well, I got this from the moon, I maybe should chase this, but at the same time, it's 1 boss check. Baron is 2. They both have crappy cutscenes because Baron has Golbez at it, whereas Twin Harp is just Twin Harp. But I get the basement and the throne out of it, so it's like, if those are my 2 options, I have to go for 2 over 1. It's just simple math for me at that point.
That ain't that.
I am very happy, though, I did go back to get Cecil online. I also did debate a little bit, like, is there a chance I'll not get this Cecil online at all and fade ordeals forever? And I was like, man, I've not come across any of these bosses yet. Dark Elf in particular is kind of awkward for Rydia's and absolutely melts to Cecil. I probably get back a minute of time alone on just that fight, so I was like, just get him online. And then he showed up where I was going to slingshot him anyway. I went back to get the package for my 10th key item so I could go take the Ribbon Room fight no matter what was there and sling Cecil. And it happened to be an objective boss, and I was like, oh, well, that's convenient.
Yeah, there's a temptation to want that Cecil. I mean, you found the early crystal sword, so I was like, that made the decision easy. Were there any other spots you would consider doing, given your situation? I mean, I think it's called that you would head to Baron because despite knowing that Golbez was going to be there, you had there's usually 3 bosses. 1 is known, but not what you need. So, were there any other spots you were considering outside of Baron once you've left the moon? Because at that point, the moon definitely wasn't haunted, given you had found nothing up to a certain point.
Yeah, I think my routing basically was just playing the calculus of Baron versus Harp at that point. Knowing that if Luca was the answer, somebody would have peeked Luca before going to the moon, and I'd be dead in the water anyway. So Luca was off the table completely. Package, same thing. It was from the freebie. If that's got the answer, I'm dead anyway. So those were the 2 that were kind of like, there's just no reason to go to those. So it was Baron, it was Twin Harp, and then it I guess would have been one of those But at that point, someone else would have finished already, and it would have been like, okay, well, like this. I was making plays to actually try to win tonight instead of just like goof around, because I really enjoy SMS and trying to like hyper optimize stuff. So kind of very focused on like actually giving it my best, barring the multiple inventory bosses we ran into. But that was because I overshopped, thinking that I'd find more than like 4 characters, maybe a Kane or an Edge, or anyone who could equip things. But no.
It's okay. You were managing small children for most of the seed.
Not wrong. But yeah, I'll let y'all have a good rest of the restream. Appreciate the commentary, Dave and Deathlike. Thank you for pushing the buttons, Beauty. And Xenocat, thank you so much for the behind the scenes and stepping in on short notice for the restream. Good seed. Appreciate it. Fun to play SMS again. And if it hasn't been said already, y'all stay tuned tomorrow. News, bulletin point, Sid ping emoji. I don't know. Okay, bye.
Things will happen. That's the important part.
Alright. GG's to Boston for again. Placing first and just overall. So, but definitely first on restream.
Joe choosing the basement first over during the Baron Throne, so
I mean,
by DKC before finding the Leviathan that took over Baron.
I mean, Baron needs to be clean. It's filled with filthy dust and cobwebs from Odin haunting all the places. So it's fine. Although DKC has a lot of baggage too.
Maybe DKC's just DKC's down here while the power washing's going on.
And wow, Palom has reached Nuke in a seed where we don't even have to fight Z. It's a good time. And there's sometimes when you have these seeds when you've reached we've reached Nuke. I mean, it's there's also Aria with Nuke level 50. She learns Nuke, although much slower rate, as her XP curve is kind of incredible. It's one of the slowest, probably next to Fu and Tella for level gaining.
And while we have Judge Joe on his way to find Leviathan, Pyramid is fighting his 4th boss, Plague.
Shouldn't be too long. It's really a countdown to Plague's death, so it's. Though things can happen, but with enough Blar and Burr, you pretty much solve pretty much any problem without question.
And with the RE1 Cecil swinging away, I believe this fight is completely free.
Yeah, the Palom being the anchor here, Porum just for emergency, but really don't really need it. When you have a proper anchor, such as a base level character, at least for most base level characters, I don't think Fu doesn't usually count on. Yeah, there's pretty much Fu and Edge that usually don't count, because Fu has too much kind of messy agility, and Edge is fast, and Judge Joe has completed the seed, washing away Leviathan.
Although we do have the official race bot time, Pyramid finishing 2 seconds before Joe.
Yep, that timer is pretty tricky. 2 seconds, although that would be within tie range, but we are not doing ties today.
If we were in tournament season, we would have a tie on stream. We also had Poydrak finishing in 3rd place, Fiery Blizzard in 4th, and Dr. Cossack in 5th while we were talking with Morpheus. And Michael Corks in 2nd. I didn't scroll far enough. Trying to figure out how we went from 1 to 3.
It's fine. Plague will tell you. it's not math. It's counting. Counting is not real math. I'm telling you.
No, but it does lead to death eventually.
That it does.
And we're joined by Judge Joe. Chi-Chi's Joe.
Hello. So either Keyless Tower or Baron. Annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to pick, so you picked one, and you eventually stumbled onto it. I mean, that's the way the seed rolled.
Yeah. It was a fun seed. Hook route troubles were after forgetting to teach Pame, I was still on battle speed 1, and that was a little worse than battle speed 3 would have been. But it was overall a fun seed. Yes, did a lot.
Yeah, how'd you like the double Rydia Bahamut start?
I was fine with it. You'll notice I checked like one shops went, oh, okay, let's go. I ended up checking 2 because locations. But just drop by Baron, grab Grimoires, drop by Mist, grab Tiara, Sork Robe, Protect Ring. That's a good start.
And then you can go to Troy and find the full Let Rydia Hit Things kit.
Yeah, I'm like, alrighty, I ended up with, and I think it was Fabul had the already arrows, but I ended up fully set up and went, I'm gonna use that for a little bit of early push. It's a little quicker than a Bahamut to just shoot a couple times, probably. And then I just kept it for agility purposes a little bit until didn't need it at the very end, but got enough agility naturally to everyone be RA1, but doesn't hurt to have a physical person set up.
Right, just in case if Val showed up, right?
I mean, if Val was on the moon, not required. If Val was Giant 1 would have been fine, but with where Val was, there was a key item behind it, I guess. Technically.
I mean, Val was at a harp, but I don't think anything was required there, so yeah.
It had a spoon, so nope.
So what did you think of the seed? I mean, this is basically supermarket sweep. So, any thoughts on supermarket sweep or or the seed in general?
I can play supermarket sweep. It's not my go-to. I grabbed some stuff and mostly just used Bahamut Rydia because that's what I had. Was lots of fun going with my level 14 characters down the hook route and seeing that the 4th character was DKC after I reset out of Ordeals because it had nothing of value. I'm sure that helped Possum speed through some things with Crystal Avenger Power Shirt Cecil.
I think it definitely. I mean, that's definitely a lot of time. When that definitely a lot of time spent, but I don't think that was a big enough difference. But definitely, that's a definite time eater. You reset out and do it again. It's a feels bad moment. I mean, maybe sometimes you just do it and just take the consequences with that. And so just in case,
it was distinct 5, so odds were very much in my favor. And besides, it was fun showing off the other play style.
And speaking of which, very well done on the reflected count for Plague. I think what other fun stuff did you show off?
But I did Thunderstruck Odin because it does nothing
right,
there.
The Thunderstruck.
Those were the fun ones.
I mean, considering the Odin wasn't as threatening element spot, not that strong magic wise. So yeah, hey, if you can do it, why not?
Yeah, that's with the type of magically defensive gear we had. as long as you have illusions, you could probably be doing that like level 30 or earlier, apparently, because Rydia decided taking over 400 was not the plan, like, ever. At least Mage Rydia did.
Turns out she's really good at dodging magic.
Until she doesn't. Which did not showcase a complete failure to dodge magic this seed, but I've had Rydia take 2300 nukes when she shouldn't.
It's just the way RNG rolls. The numbers.
Yep, literally.
So, you have any thoughts on the format tonight, Slapdash in general?
Oh, Slapdash was always lots of fun when it was a thing. Whether it was mystery, whether it was known, it definitely would come up with some good times. So, always fun to go and bring that back. But I want to thank you all, everyone involved in putting on the restream. Sure, it'll be lots of fun to see what type of plays everyone did, and I'll probably be heading out now.
All right, have yourself a good night.
GG's again, Joe. And I think Eden just left. We'll probably eventually stumble onto to the boss. I think it was just Zot and Baron for.
We're going up the tower now, which will lead Ninja to the Earth Crystal.
So so probably we'll be chasing kind of key items that are gating boss locations. So this is, and typically in a boss hunt, you want to kind of optimize, at least in terms of choosing which way to go, finding the spots that will generate the most bosses. So I think Baron probably can be some runners try to avoid Golbez, and then some embrace them. It's like when you have early game with only 2 characters and you just do Golbez outright because hey, you can.
And we know the 2-character Golbez is the best Golbez.
The trick is really to get for those who's trying to get the Star Veil off. So that if you want to get the Star Veil off on a character, then Golbez is usually very manageable. And E-Ninja finding Dark Imps not in their normal spot, but might as well be it's French vanilla because they decided to move out of the cubbyhole that is the Super Cannon room. And Dark Imps are also normal enemies, but they will be skilled with boss HP. And this spot, at least relative to a lot of the underground spots, has quite a bit of HP because of the multiple forms of Dr. Luge.
And you take that quite a bit, divide it by 3, and it becomes 1 Blarg and you're out.
Yep. So Blarg elimination. That's what we gotta calculate things in Blarg. That's what we need to do.
How many Blargs does this fight?
It's a sliding scale. Those, and with all the kind of black mages in a party, black magic and summons scale pretty well. I mean, obviously wisdom controls how much damage they do because of the multipliers being generated. But the thing is, black mages sometimes have kind of a little bit more difficulty getting stat sticks, unlike the white mage counterparts. You can consider that. The Stardust Rod. There's no like white robe equivalent for armor outside of the adamant. Then you've got. You can have tiaras, but they're not for Palom, and I guess Palom would love to have one but can't. So that, and tiaras are only effectively good for Rydia at that point. So it's hard to get kind of the stat boosting things for a black mage, but Palom can get by with when you have J commands available like Bluff, which is pretty much kind of the thing that primarily defines Palom outside of Quake. Shouldn't be too long. E-Ninja will stumble onto Bylon at the Val spot, so that shouldn't be too long. No.
I would like to shout out we had our ninth place finisher, Arian. Seems to be a new runner in the community, finishing a seed at Tower 131. Very well done.
Yep, very well done. I mean, it's a community race. Everyone has a chance to participate. Seeds, well, plenty of fun. Although I think we're near the end of community races. I mean, because the tourney is about to start. If you've been in Discord, just the Free Enterprise Discord, there's a league up coming up really soon. It's gonna start. Don't know when exactly to start, but there'll be some interesting stuff upcoming regarding it. So stay tuned. We do have an announcement at the end of this, near the end of the stream. So just hold on. Shouldn't be too long for this.
Ninja tears this antline apart and is about to get the good news that his journey is done.
Yeah, this unfortunately antline not doing its moon travel. Well, I don't understand. Antline could be vacationing on the moon, but it doesn't.
You can't just spend all your time in the vacation home.
Well, there's Vanilla. He could actually be at Vanilla. That would be preferable. Yes, no.
And with a party this level, there's no taking anyone.
Yep. Just one blog away from finishing the seed, or just let Cecil do his thing. Also, just one thing about free enterprise in this particular fight. Make sure to get rid of the undead, because there are some spots where if you kill Malon Z before killing the undead, you might not have a good time.
Yield will just get punched for quad nines, even in the back row.
Quad 9 is nice. It's Harpless Dark Elf. That's what it is. Who wants Harpless Dark Elf?
Only those who are fans of the late great Gilbert Godfrey and can yell "You fools" when it comes up.
And and by the way, if you actually defeat Harpless Dark Elf, nothing happens. It as if you had never fought him. It's strange how that works. Waiting on E-Ninja to come in for an interview. Just give it a moment or two.
And we're joined by E Ninja. GG's Ninja.
Yeah, GG's. That was an interesting one.
I mean, you get all the tools, kind of all the tools you need for Rydia to start with, on top of what is this effectively supermarket sweep. I mean, you could pretty much do anything.
Yeah, I was waiting on those grimoires early in the seed. I found those. I was like, oh, other summons on top of my summons.
I mean, grimoires are nice until they summon things that you didn't actually want summoned once in a while.
Like Odin 2 or 3 times.
Oh, did it? Was it the 50/50 disappearing
Yeah.
act?
Yeah, he appears and then goes away.
Yeah, grimoires. Lots of fun.
What I'm wondering is, where was our last boss?
Giant 2, if Bahamut's when you were missing.
Yes, I am missing Bahamut.
It was behind an Odin at the element spot.
Ah, okay. Well, that didn't sound very fun either.
I think it wasn't too bad. At least, I mean, you have the Odin. The Odin wasn't as strong as it normally would because it does. I mean, yeah, it has all that HP, but that Zanzukin isn't as strong. The spell multiplier in the element spot isn't killer as it was Odin's normal spot. So it's
Yeah.
But what did you think of the seed as a whole? I mean, there was plenty of laughs to be had.
Oh yeah, it was definitely interesting. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
I think of the runners on Restream, you were the only one to take that gauntlet. Was that just for some early levels?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I wanted to get both the Rydia's Bahamuts online.
yeah. I thought you had to at least get Rydia to level 11 to even summon a Bahamut. So yeah, and I'm sure that was the thinking. And you picked up a Palom, so obviously you probably tried to get Quake Kid online a little bit at least too. I think.
Yeah, I was trying to get that on as well. And I mean, early off, I found like glass helmets. So I was like, glass helmet Rydia's even at base level in back row, they should only take like 1 damage each. So I just figured I'd throw out grimoires and take out that gauntlet real quick.
Were you thinking of fading ordeals? Given that I mean, you definitely was a Cecil in the seed, but were you thinking of considering fading it just to avoid doing it, or did you want to go after the 3 bosses, just hoping that they were the bosses, the matching bosses that you were hunting for?
Well, the thing that pushed me back up towards ordeals is when we hit the hook route, we know the man was there.
Right.
Crystal swords were in Mist Village, if I remember right. They were relatively early shop.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I'm pretty sure they were in Mist shop. I had the crystal sword, and there was a Cecil hook route, so that pushed me right back up towards ordeals. Because I had power shirts and crystal swords and glass hats, so that makes Cecil a beefy tank guy. That could also be backroom because we got the dwarf kit, which had the axe.
Good thinking on the axe. Good thing I was remembering the axe.
Yeah. I was thinking Crystal Sword, Power Shirt, Glass Helmet,